You've probably got an app tracking every milestone. First smile, first roll, first word logged, dated, maybe even shared in a group chat. It feels like the responsible thing to do, the scientific thing to do. Here's what almost nobody tells you. Your baby is keeping a record too, not of milestones, of you, long before your child can say your name, before they can even recognize their own hands as belonging to them. Something in that small, developing brain is already paying close attention. Not to what you buy them, not to the flashcards or the black and white contrast cards or the developmentally optimized toys lined up on the shelf. To something quieter. Something that happens dozens of times a day without you noticing it's happening at all. Researchers who study infant development people at institutions like Harvard's Center on the Developing Child, and developmental psychologists going back to the attachment researchers of the 1960s and 70s have spent decades trying to answer a strange and slightly unsettling question. What does a baby actually remember when a baby can't remember anything? Because here's the thing. Your baby's brain isn't storing memories the way yours does. There's no timeline. No scrapbook. No, I recall the day my mother sang to me in the kitchen. That kind of memory, the kind you can put into words and pull up on demand, doesn't come online until later. Sometimes years later. And yet, something is being recorded. Something durable enough to shape how your child expects the world to treat them. Durable enough to show up in how they handle stress as a toddler, how they form friendships as a child, even how they regulate their own emotions as an adult. Scientists have a name for this. It's not about facts or events. It's about felt experience encoded not in words, but in the body, in expectation, in a kind of emotional muscle memory that starts building before your baby can even hold up their own head. It's called implicit memory, and your baby is building it right now. In this ordinary, unremarkable day, whether you're aware of it or not, implicit memory doesn't sound like much on paper. But here's what it actually feels like in real life. Picture a baby lying on a playmat. She drops her toy again and lets out a small, frustrated cry. It's the 5th time in 10 minutes. And each time, you glance over, you say something soft. Maybe you don't even get up. Maybe you just say, "I see you. I'm right here," and hand the toy back. That moment lasts for seconds. You'll forget it by lunchtime. She won't remember it either, not in the way she'll remember her 5th birthday party someday. But her nervous system is taking notes. It's learning something like, when I'm distressed, someone responds. The world is not indifferent to me. Do that enough times, hundreds of times, thousands of times, across months, and it stops being a memory of any single moment. It becomes an expectation. A baseline. Researchers who study early attachment, building on foundational work from developmental psychology, describe this as the formation of an internal working model, essentially. A template for what relationships are supposed to feel like. Built entirely out of these small, repeated, forgettable moments. Here's the plain language version you could repeat to a friend at pickup. Your baby isn't remembering what you did. She's remembering how it felt to be with you, and that feeling becomes the lens she sees every future relationship through. And this is where it gets genuinely reassuring, not just interesting. This isn't about wealth. It isn't about which neighborhood you live in or what preschool is on the wait list. Studies on early attachment consistently find that the quality of these small, responsive moments matters far more than income, education level, or family structure. A parent working 2 jobs who has 4 unhurried minutes at bedtime is building the same kind of implicit memory as a parent with every resource in the world. Your baby isn't grading you on a curve of Pinterest-worthy nursery decor. She's grading you, if you can even call it that, on presence. On whether, when she reached out, something reached back. That's the first thing she secretly remembers about you. Not your face. Not yet. Not in words. The feeling of being answered. In the 1970s, a researcher named Edward Tronick ran an experiment that's since become one of the most quietly devastating studies in developmental psychology. It's called the still face experiment, and if you've never seen footage of it, the setup is simple enough to picture without watching. A mother sits face to face with her baby. For a minute or two, they do what parents and babies naturally do. She smiles. The baby smiles back. She coos, the baby babbles. There's a rhythm to it. A back and forth, almost like a conversation with no words. Then, on cue, the mother's face goes still, blank, no smile, no response. She just looks at her baby without expression. The baby notices almost instantly. She smiles wider, trying to get the game going again. When that doesn't work, she reaches out, kicks her legs, makes sounds, anything to pull her mother back into the exchange. When that still doesn't work, something harder to watch happens. The baby's whole body seems to deflate. She looks away. Some babies cry. Some go quiet in a way that feels heavier than crying. Then the mother's face comes back to life. And almost immediately, the baby recovers, reaching for her again, re-engaging. The rupture repaired. The point of the experiment was never blank faces are dangerous. Real life is full of still faces. You checking your phone. You distracted by dinner. You simply tired. The point was what happens after. Babies don't need perfect attunement. They need repair. They need to learn that disconnection is temporary, that reaching out works, that the rhythm always comes back. That's the emotional core of what your baby is quietly recording. Not whether you got it right every time, but whether you came back. So here's what you can start doing today. 1. Narrate the return. After any gap, a phone call, a distracted moment, a bad morning, say it out loud. I'm back. I'm looking at you now. Your tone does the work even before your words do. 2. Chase the repair, not perfection. If you snapped or missed a cue, get low, make eye contact and say, that was a lot, huh? I'm here now. 3. Build in a few unhurried minutes daily. No phone, no agenda, just following your baby's lead. Even 90 seconds counts. 4. Let your face do the talking. Babies read expression before language. A genuine smile when you walk into the room says more than any toy ever will. Somewhere out there is a subscription box promising to boost your baby's emotional intelligence. A 12-week app program claiming to build secure attachment through guided activities. A sensory toy with a price tag that makes you wince, engineered supposedly to strengthen the parent-child bond. None of it does what first seconds of eye contact does. None of it does what I'm back, I'm here does. Said in your own imperfect, tired, real voice. That's not a guilt trip. It's the opposite. It means the thing your baby needs most isn't behind a paywall. It's not something you forgot to buy. It's something you're already doing every time you glance over at the playmat, every time you come back after a hard moment, every time your face lights up because your baby walked into the room. You don't need to overhaul anything. You need to keep noticing what you're already noticing. If you've watched this far, you're not the parent who needs convincing to pay attention. You're already the kind of parent who shows up, who comes back, who's building something in your child that no toy, no app, no class could ever manufacture. A felt sense deep in her body that she is safe, that she is wanted, that the world responds when she reaches out. That's not a small thing. That's the foundation everything else gets built on. If this kind of research back look at what's actually happening inside your baby's development speaks to you, consider subscribing. This channel is all about translating the real science of early childhood into things you can actually use, without the noise and without the guilt. And if this one landed, a like helps more parents find it too, because in the end, your baby isn't keeping score of the perfect moments. She's remembering the coming back. Every single time.